Welcome, dear listener, to a quiet night in ancient Rome, where the stars gleam over cobbled streets, their stones worn smooth by countless sandals. Tonight, we wander not as emperors or generals, but as ordinary Romans, bakers, merchants, mothers, living in the shadow of a vast empire. Picture a small apartment, its clay lamp casting a soft glow, the air scented with olive oil and warm bread, the distant hum of a bustling city fading into dusk. This is the Roman Empire, a world of aqueducts, laws, and steady routines, where market stalls clatter, bathhouse waters splash, and scrolls rustle in a scribe's hands. We'll drift through crowded tenements and dusty roads, past marble halls, where sandals echo, exploring the lives of those who kept Rome's heart beating. From the soft chatter of neighbors to the gentle creak of a cart, this is a story of discipline and order, a tapestry of everyday moments woven across centuries. The empire's grandeur lies not in battles, but in the quiet strength of its people, their work, their homes, their simple joys. As you rest in your cozy bed, far from Rome's sun-warmed stones and starlit hills, let this tale carry you gently, one aqueduct at a time, toward a peaceful sleep. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let the steady rhythm of ancient lives guide you, a soothing whisper from the past to lull you into dreams. The dawn breaks softly over Rome, its first light creeping through narrow windows into a cramped apartment in the Subura district, where Lucius, a baker, rises from a straw mattress, the air heavy with the scent of flour and wood smoke. His insula, a towering, creaking building of brick and timber, hums with the waking sounds of neighbors, their voices a low murmur through thin walls, their footsteps clattering on wooden stairs. The city outside stirs, the cobbled streets alive with the clop of sandals, the rattle of carts, and the distant splash of a fountain. Lucius, a man of 40 with calloused hands and a quiet smile, begins his day, his small room a haven in the heart of the Roman Empire's bustling capital. Welcome, dear listener, to a day in the life of an ordinary Roman, where the rhythm of kneading dough, the glow of a clay lamp, and the chatter of a crowded insula weave a tapestry of daily life. As you rest in your cozy bed, far from Rome's sun-warmed stones and noisy alleys, let Lucius's story wrap you in its gentle hum, a soothing tale of routine and resilience to guide you towards sleep. The Subura district is a maze of narrow streets, its buildings leaning close, their shadows long in the morning light, the air thick with the scents of baking bread, olive oil, and the faint tang of sweat from crowded tenements. Lucius's insula rises 5 stories, its walls stained with soot, its windows small, their wooden shutters creaking as neighbors open them to greet the day. The building is alive, home to dozens of families, artisans, laborers, their lives intertwined. In a noisy, vibrant community, the ground floor hums with shops, a butcher's cleaver thumping, a cobbler's hammer tapping, while above, the apartments are cramped, their ceilings low, their floors worn smooth by years of footsteps. Lucius's room, on the 3rd floor, is modest, a single space with a straw mattress, a wooden table, and a small oven, its bricks warm from last night's fire, the air dusted with flour, the light soft from a clay lamp flickering in the corner. Lucius rises before dawn, his movements slow, his body stiff from years of labor, the mattress rustling as he stands, his tunic rough against his skin. He lights the lamp, its flame casting shadows on the walls, the scent of burning oil mingling with the flour that clings to his hands. His wife, Flavia, sleeps nearby, her breath steady, her dark hair spilling across a woolen blanket, while their son, Titus, a boy of 10, curls up on a smaller mat, his dreams filled with games in the street below. The insula is quiet at this hour, the murmur of neighbors faint, the creak of a distant shutter a soft note in the stillness. Lucius kneads dough, his hands strong, the rhythm steady, the dough soft and warm, its scent earthy, a promise of the bread that will feed his family and customers. The oven crackles, its heat spreading, the air growing warmer. The first loaves shaped and set to bake, their crusts soon golden, their aroma filling the room. The Subura wakes, the streets below, buzzing with life, vendors calling, their voices sharp in the morning air, the clatter of carts echoing off stone walls. Lucius carries his loaves to the shop downstairs, a small space with a wooden counter, its surface worn, the air thick with the scent of fresh bread. Customers gather, their coins jingling, their chatter lively, neighbors sharing news of the forum, of a festival, of a new law read by a magistrate. Flavia joins him, her hands quick as she wraps loaves in cloth, her smile warm, her voice soft as she greets a regular, an old woman with a woven basket, her sandals scuffing the floor. Titus runs errands, his feet quick, his laughter bright as he darts through the crowd, delivering bread to a nearby tavern, the air there heavy with wine and roasted meat. The owners nod a quiet thanks. The insula is a world of its own, its floors alive with the sounds of life, children shouting, mothers singing, artisans hammering, the air a mix of smells, bread, leather, smoke. The wooden stairs creak under constant footsteps, their railings smooth from years of hands, the walls marked with children's scratches, the faint glow of lamps spilling from open doors. Neighbors are close, their lives shared, their voices carrying through thin walls, a weaver's loom clacking, a scribe's stylus scratching on wax tablets. Lucius knows them all, the cobbler who mends his sandals, the widow who trades herbs for bread, their bonds a strength that holds the insula. Together, the building is old, its bricks crumbling, its timbers groaning, but it stands firm, a testament to the resilience of its people. Their routines a steady pulse in Rome's heart. Midday brings a pause, the sun high, the streets quieter, the air warm with the scent of dust and stone. Lucius sits with Flavia and Titus, their meal simple, bread, olives, a bit of cheese. The table small, the room cozy despite its bareness. Titus chatters about a chariot race he saw, his eyes wide, his hands waving, the memory of cheering crowds. A spark that lights his face. Flavia listens, her laughter soft, her hand resting on Lucius's, their bond a warmth that eases the day's toil. The insula hums around them, the murmur of neighbors a constant backdrop, the clatter of a dropped pot, the cry of a baby, the rhythm of life unbroken. Lucius feels the weight of his work, his hands sore, his back aching, but the sight of his family, the scent of his bread, the chatter of his neighbors, fills him with quiet pride. The afternoon returns him to the oven, the heat intense, the air thick with flour, the loaves piling up, their crusts crisp, their scent a draw for passers-by. The shop grows busy, the counter crowded, coins clinking, voices rising, a soldier buying bread for his barracks, a merchant haggling for a discount. Flavia manages the crowd, her voice firm but kind, her hands quick, while Titus sweeps the floor, his broom rustling, his energy boundless. The Subura's streets pulse with life, the air alive with shouts, laughter, the clop of donkeys pulling carts, the splash of water from a nearby fountain. Lucius pauses, his hands resting, his eyes on the street, the city's rhythm a reminder of Rome's vastness, its order a thread that binds its people. Evening falls, the sky turning purple, the air cooling, the insula's lamps flickering to life, their light spilling onto the stairs. Lucius closes the shop, the counter empty, the day's earnings tucked away. A few coins to buy grain, to pay rent, to keep the oven burning. He climbs the stairs, their creak familiar, his steps slow, his body weary but his heart full. Flavia prepares supper, a pot of lentils simmering, the scent savory, the room warm with the glow of the lamp. The chatter of Titus, a gentle hum. Neighbors visit, their voices soft, sharing stories of the day. A weaver complaining of a broken loom. A scribe boasting of a letter he wrote for a senator. The insula is a community, its people bound by shared walls, shared lives. Their laughter a light that pushes back the dark. The historical context of the insula lies in Rome's urban growth during the Pax Romana, a time of stability from 27 BC to 180 CE, when cities swelled with people and insulae housed the majority of urban Romans. These buildings, often 4 to 6 stories, were cramped, fire-prone, their upper floors cheaper, their lower shops bustling. Laws, like those of Emperor Trajan, limited their height to reduce collapses, but life remained noisy, crowded, vibrant. The Subura, a working-class district, was a hub of artisans and merchants. Its streets a microcosm of Rome's diversity, its people resilient. Their routines a foundation of the empire's order. Lucius's life is one of countless Romans, his bread feeding neighbors, his shop a small piece of the city's pulse. The insula's creaks, the streets clamor, the lamps glow. These are the threads of his day, woven into the empire's fabric. He sits with Flavia, their hands touching, Titus asleep, his breath soft, the room a haven from the city's bustle. The stars shine above, their light faint through the window, the air cool, the Subura quiet now, its rhythm slowing. Lucius' story, a tale of work and warmth, is a whisper of Rome's heart, a legacy of ordinary lives that held an empire together. The night deepens, the insula silent, its lamps dim, the city's hum a distant echo. As you drift towards sleep, dear listener, imagine the creak of wooden stairs, the scent of fresh bread, the murmur of neighbors in a crowded tenement. Lucius's day, a gentle rhythm of toil and community, wraps you in peace, a lullaby from ancient Rome to carry you into dreams. The morning sun rises over Rome, its golden light spilling across the marble columns of the Roman Forum, where Claudia, a merchant of 35, arranges jars of olives and bolts of cloth on her wooden stall, the air filled with the sharp scent of spices and the clatter of nearby vendors. The Forum, nestled between the Capitoline and Palatine hills, buzzes with life, its cobbled paths worn smooth by countless sandals, the hum of voices a steady rhythm that binds the city. Claudia's stall, a modest square of wood and canvas, stands among dozens, their awnings fluttering in the breeze, the shouts of merchants mingling with the chatter of citizens seeking bread, oil, or news. This is the heart of the empire, a place of trade, law, and connection, where ordinary Romans like Claudia weave their lives into the fabric of Rome's order. Welcome, dear listener, to a day in the Forum, a tale of commerce, community, and the gentle hum of daily life, woven with the sounds of a bustling marketplace. As you rest in your cozy bed, far from Rome's sunlit stones and crowded paths. Let Claudia's story wrap you in its warmth, a soothing whisper from the past to guide you gently toward sleep. The Forum is a vibrant chaos, its marble temples gleaming, their steps crowded with priests and petitioners, the air thick with the scent of incense drifting from altars. Claudia's stall is small, its counter piled with clay jars of green and black olives, their briny tang sharp, bolts of woolen cloth dyed red and blue folded neatly beside them. She rises early, her tunic simple, her hair pinned back, her hands quick as she sets up before dawn, the sky still purple, the Forum quiet but stirring. Her husband, Quintus, a scribe, is already at work nearby, his stylus scratching on wax tablets, recording contracts for merchants, his bench tucked under a portico shade. Their daughter, Livia, a girl of 12, helps at the stall, her fingers deft as she arranges olives, her laughter bright as she greets customers, her sandals scuffing the cobbles. The Forum wakes with a rush, the air alive with shouts, vendors calling out their wares, fish, figs, pottery, their voices a chorus that echoes off marble walls. Claudia's stall draws a steady stream, neighbors from the Subura, soldiers in leather tunics, matrons with woven baskets, their coins clinking as they buy olives for their tables, cloth for their cloaks. The sun climbs, its heat softened by the breeze, the cobbles warm underfoot, the scent of roasted nuts mingling with the tang of olive oil and the dust of the paths. Livia runs errands, her steps quick, delivering a jar to a tavern, the air there heavy with wine and chatter, her return marked by a skip, her smile wide. Claudia haggles with a customer, a baker named Lucius from the nearby insula, his hands dusted with flour, their banter friendly, their deals sealed with a nod and a coin. The Forum is more than a market. It's the empire's pulse, a place where law, trade, and news converge. Magistrates in white togas stride through, their voices stern as they settle disputes, their gestures sharp, the crowd parting for them. A herald reads a new law, his voice ringing, announcing taxes or festival. Dates, the words, a reminder of Rome's discipline. Quintus, at his bench, records a contract for a wine merchant, his stylus steady, the wax soft under his touch, the air cool in the portico's shade. Claudia watches, her heart proud, his work a small but vital thread in the empire's order, his scrolls ensuring trust among traders. The Forum's columns cast long shadows, their marble cool, the statues of gods and heroes gazing down, their stone eyes silent witnesses to the day's hum. Midday brings a peak of activity, the stalls crowded, the air thick with voices, laughter, arguments. A street performer juggles, his wooden balls thumping, children clapping, their squeals rising above the din. Claudia serves a soldier, his bronze armor glinting, his talk of campaigns in Gaul a quiet boast, his coins heavy as he buys olives. For his mess, Livia fetches water from a fountain, its splash cool, the basins stone-worn smooth by hands. Her jar heavy as she returns, her steps careful. The Forum's rhythm is steady, its chaos ordered. The laws of trade enforced by ediles, their tablets noting weights and prices. Their presence a comfort to merchants like Claudia, who rely on fairness to thrive. The afternoon slows, the sun dipping, the air cooler, the crowds thinning as citizens drift to bathhouses or homes. Claudia and Livia tidy the stall, their hands brushing as they stack jars, the cloth bolts folded, the counter swept clean. the scent of olives lingering. Quintus joins them, his work done, his scrolls tucked away, his smile tired but warm. They share a meal at the stall, bread from Lucius's bakery, olives from their stock. A bit of cheese, the taste simple, the moment precious. The forums. Noise softens, the clatter of stalls fading, the murmur of voices a gentle hum, the cobbles glowing in the evening light. A neighbor, a potter, stops by, his hands clasped, his talk of a new kill a spark of excitement, their laughter shared, their bond a thread in the forum's tapestry. Evening falls. The forum quiet, its temples dark, the air cool with the scent of stone and dust. Claudia closes the stall, its canvas rolled, the jars stored, the coins counted, enough to buy oil, to pay rent, to keep Livia's lessons with a tutor. They walk home, the Sabura's streets narrow, the lamps flickering in windows, the hum of families settling for the night. Quintus carries Livia, her head on his shoulder, her breath soft. The day's work a weight lifted by their closeness. The insula looms, its creaking stairs familiar, their apartment a haven. The lamps glow warm, the scent of bread lingering from morning. The historical context of the forum lies in its role as the empire's civic and commercial heart during the Pax Romana, 27 BCE, 180 CE, a time of stability when Rome's markets thrived, connecting people across classes. Laws, enforced by magistrates and aediles, ensured fair trade, while the forums, temples, and basilicas hosted legal proceedings, its open spaces a stage for news and community. The Subura's merchants, like Claudia, were vital to Rome's economy, their stalls feeding and clothing the city. Their lives a testament to the empire's order and resilience. Claudia's day is one of countless Romans, her olives and cloth a small piece of the forum's pulse, her family a light in the empire's vastness. The cobbles, the shouts, the marble columns, these are the threads of her life, woven into Rome's fabric. The night deepens, the forum silent, its stalls empty, the city's hum a whisper. As you drift toward sleep, dear listener, imagine the clatter of a market stall, the scent of olives, the murmur of a crowd in Rome's heart. Claudia's story, a gentle rhythm of commerce and connection, wraps you in peace, a lullaby from ancient Rome to carry you into dreams. The late afternoon sun casts a golden glow over Rome, its light filtering through the marble arches of the baths of Trajan, where Marcus, a young scribe of 22, steps into the cool shade, his sandals echoing softly on the polished stone floor. The air is warm with steam, scented with olive oil and lavender, the gentle splash of water mingling with the low murmur of voices from dozens of bathers. The bathhouse, a sprawling complex of pools and halls, is a haven for Romans, rich and poor, their tunics shed, their cares washed away in the soothing waters. Marcus, weary from a day of scratching ink on papyrus in a cramped office, seeks the comfort of this daily ritual, his stylus tucked away, his shoulders relaxing as the steam envelops him. Welcome, dear listener, to a quiet moment in the Roman baths, a tale of relaxation, connection, and the gentle hum of community, woven with the sounds of splashing water and soft laughter. As you rest in your cozy bed, far from Rome's sun-warmed marble and misty halls, let Marcus's story wrap you in its warmth, a soothing whisper from the past to guide you gently toward sleep. The baths of Trajan, built under the emperors, reign rise grandly on the Appian Hill, their marble columns gleaming, their mosaics of fish and vines sparkling underfoot. the air thick with the scent of heated stone and fragrant oils. Marcus enters through a wide courtyard, its fountain gurgling. The waters spray cool against his skin, the chatter of bathers a lively hum. He pays a small coin, a quadrant, to the attendant, a grizzled man with a nod, his hands quick as he, hands Marcus a linen towel, its texture rough but clean. The changing room, or apoditorium, is bustling, the air warm. The stone benches crowded with tunics and sandals, the voices of men and women mingling, their laughter echoing off tiled walls. Marcus folds his tunic, his fingers brushing the coarse wool, his sandals placed neatly beside it, the floor cool under his feet. The anticipation of the baths a quiet thrill. The first stop is the tepidarium, a warm room where steam rises, the air soft with heat, the walls lined with marble, their surfaces smooth, their colors glowing in the dim light of oil lamps. Marcus sits on a bench, his skin warming, his muscles loosening, the hum of conversation around him a gentle rhythm. Bathers chat about the day's news, a merchant's voice boasting of a deal in the forum, a soldier's laughter loud as he shares a tale of camp life. The room is a mix of classes, senators in fine linens beside laborers in simple cloths, their differences softened by the shared ritual, the steam of ale that equalizes them. Marcus listens, his eyes half closed, the warmth seeping into his bones, the day's work, the scratch of his stylus, the weight of papyrus fading into the mist. Next is the caldarium, the hot bath, its pools steaming, the water's surface rippling, the air heavy with heat and the scent of herbs. Marcus steps in, the water hot but soothing, his feet sinking into the tiled floor, the mosaics shimmering below. He leans back, his head resting on the pool's edge, the splash of water gentle, the voices quieter now, subdued by the heat. A bath attendant pours water over heated stones, the hiss of steam rising, the air growing thicker, the warmth wrapping Marcus like a blanket. He thinks of his day, the cramped office near the forum, the ink staining his fingers, the endless contracts he copied for merchants like Claudia, their words a blur of grain, prices, and land deeds. The caldarium washes it away, the water a bomb, the steam a whisper that eases his mind. The frigidarium follows, its cold pool a shock, the water crisp, the air cool, the plunge waking Marcus's senses, his breath sharp, his skin tingling. The room is brighter, its ceiling high, its windows letting in slants of sunlight, the mosaics sparkling with images of dolphins and waves. Bathers laugh, their voices echoing, their splashes playful, the cold a jolt that sparks conversation. Marcus joins a group, his friend Gaius, a courier, among them. His talk of dusty roads and distant towns, a familiar refrain. They share a joke, the laughter soft, the waters chill, a bond that draws them closer. The frigidarium's walls are cool, the air fresh. The ritual, a cycle of warmth and cold that refreshes body and spirit. A rhythm that binds Romans together. Beyond the pools, the baths offer more. A gymnasium where men wrestle, their grunts echoing. The air thick with sweat. A library where scrolls rustle, their parchment dry, their words read in hushed tones. Marcus visits the exercise yard, his sandals scuffing the sand, his body stretching as he lifts a small weight, the effort light, the air warm with late afternoon sun. He chats with a baker, Lucius, his hands still dusted with flour. Their talk of bread prices and festival crowds a quiet exchange. The baths are a social hub, their halls a place where news spreads, friendships form, deals are whispered. Empire's pulse felt in every conversation, every splash evening approaches, the sun dipping, the baths quieter, the air cooler, the lamps flickering to life, their light soft on the marble. Marcus lingers in the tepidarium, his towel damp, his skin clean, his heart light. He thinks of his small room in the Subura Insula, its straw mattress waiting. The hum of neighbors a comfort, his mother's voice a memory that steadies him. The baths open to all are a gift of Rome's order, their waters a thread that connects. Patrician and plebeian, their rituals a daily pause that soothes the city's bustle. Marcus leaves, his sandals echoing, the courtyard's fountain gurgling, the night air cool. The city's hum fading as he walks home. The historical context of the baths lies in their role. During the Pax Romana to 7 BC, 1806, a time of stability when public works, like the baths of Trajan, built in 109 CE, showcased Rome's engineering. Aqueducts fed their pools, hypercost systems heated their floors, their architecture a marvel of arches and tiles. Baths were more than hygiene, they were social equalizers. Their low entry fees allowing all classes to mingle, their spaces fostering community. Laws ensured their upkeep, emperors like Trajan funding them to win favor. Their legacy enduring in Rome's ruins. Marcus's visit is one of countless Romans, his bath a small piece of the empire's rhythm, his connections a thread in its fabric. The steam, the splash, the murmur of voices, these are the sounds of his day, woven into Rome's heart. The night deepens, the baths silent, their pools still, the city's hum a whisper. As you drift towards sleep, dear listener, imagine the warmth of steam, the splash of water, the murmur of a Roman bathhouse. Marcus's story, a gentle rhythm of comfort and community, wraps you in peace, a lullaby from ancient Rome to carry you into dreams. The dawn breaks gently over the Roman countryside, its first light touching the stone-paved Via Appia, where Gaius, a courier of 30, adjusts the leather satchel slung across his shoulder, his sandals clopping softly on the worn stones. The air is cool, scented with dew and wild herbs, the distant bleat of goats mingling with the creak of a cartwheel as Gaius sets out from Rome, bound for a town 50 miles south. The road stretches straight, its milestones gleaming in the morning. Sun aqueducts arching across the horizon, their shadows long and steady. Gaius, a wiry man with a quick step and a quiet smile, carries messages for merchants and officials, his journey a small thread in the vast network that binds the Roman Empire. Welcome, dear listener, to a day on Rome's roads, a tale of travel, connection, and the steady rhythm of an empire's pulse, woven with the sounds of clopping hooves and rustling parchment. As you rest in your cozy bed, far from the dusty paths and stone markers of ancient Rome, let Gaius's story wrap you in its warmth, a soothing whisper from the past to guide you gently towards sleep. The Via Appia, known as the Queen of Roads, is a marvel of Roman engineering, its stones fitted tightly, their surfaces polished by years of travelers. The path wide enough for 2 carts to pass, its edges lined with cypress trees, swaying in the breeze. Gaius walks with purpose, his satchel heavy with sealed scrolls, their wax seals glinting, the parchment inside inked with orders for grain or pleas for tax relief. The road is alive, merchants driving carts piled with amphorae, their clay clinking, farmers herding goats, their bells jingling, soldiers marching, their armor glinting in the sun. The air carries the scent of dust and leather, the horizon marked by the gentle curve of aqueducts, their arches a testament to Rome's order, their water feeding distant towns. Gaius's journey begins at Rome's Porta Capena, the gate bustling with travelers, the air thick with shouts and the clatter of wheels. His tunic is simple, his cloak wrapped tight against the morning chill, his sandals sturdy, their leather creaking with each step. He passes a milestone, its carved letters noting the distance to Capua. The stone cool under his touch, a guide for his path. The road is smooth, its stones laid with care, the work of legions and laborers. Their sweat a foundation for the empire's reach. Gaius knows the Via Appia well, its curves familiar, its inns a welcome pause, their fires warm, their bread fresh, their owners quick with a nod and a bowl of stew. By mid-morning, the sun climbs, the air warming, the road busier with travelers. A family walking to a festival, their laughter bright, a merchant's cart rattling, its driver cursing a broken wheel. Gaius stops at a roadside shrine, its small statue of Mercury, god of travelers, adorned with flowers, the air scented with wilted petals. He offers a coin, his prayer soft, asking for safe passage, the ritual a habit that steadies his heart. The road stretches on, its stones gleaming, the fields green with wheat, the bleat of sheep a distant hum. Gaius passes a villa, its walls white, its olive trees swaying, the owner's slaves working the fields, their voices singing, the rhythm slow and steady, a pulse of Rome's rural life. Noon brings heat, the sun high, the air thick with dust. Gaius's cloak now tied at his waist, his brow damp. He reaches a mansio, a statron in its courtyard, shaded by a fig tree, the air cool, the scent of roasted meat drifting from a kitchen. He rests, his sandals off, his feet sore, the stone bench cool under him. The innkeeper, a stout woman with a quick smile, offers bread and watered wine, the taste tart, the cup smooth in his hands. Other travelers gather, their voices low, sharing tales of Rome's markets, of a senator's speech, of a storm in Gaul. Gaius listens, his satchel at his side, the scrolls safe, his thoughts on his wife, Aemilia, waiting in Rome, her loom clacking in their insular apartment, her voice a memory that warms him. The afternoon journey continues, the road quieter, the fields stretching wide, their green broken by the grey of aqueducts and the white of distant villas. Gaius walks alone, his sandals clopping, the creak of a cart in the distance, the chirp of birds, a soft chorus. He passes a taberna, a roadside stall, its counter piled with figs and cheese. The vendor's voice calling, her hands quick as she serves a soldier. Gaius buys a fig, its sweetness sharp. His coins few, but enough, the vendor's nod kind. The road's milestones guide him, their numbers a countdown to his destination. The stones warm under the sun, their carvings a reminder of Rome's reach, connecting cities, provinces, lives. Evening nears. The sky turning orange, the air cooling. The road leading to a small town, its walls low, its streets narrow, the hum of life softer than Rome's roar. Gaius delivers his scrolls to a local official, a man in a toga, his house modest, its courtyard filled with the scent of roses, the air warm with lamplight. The official reads, his nod slow, his thanks brief, the scrolls passed to a servant. Their words a link in the empire's chain. Gaius finds an inn, its room small, its straw mattress rough, the air thick with the smell of smoke and stew. He eats, the bowl warm, the broth savory, his body weary, his heart light with the day's work done. The historical context of Rome's roads lies in their role during the Pax Romana 27 BCE to 180 CE, when the empire's network, spanning over 250,000 miles, connected cities from Britain to Egypt. The Via Appia, built in 312 BCE, was a model, its stones laid for armies, trade, and couriers like Gaius, its durability a symbol of Roman discipline. Mansionese and Tobones supported travelers, their services regulated, their presence a lifeline for commerce and communication. Aqueducts, milestones, and inns were threads of Rome's order, their engineering binding an empire, their legacy enduring in stone. Gaius's journey is one of countless Romans, his steps a small piece of the empire's pulse, his scrolls a thread in its fabric. The road, the cartwheels, the milestones, these are the rhythms of his day, woven into Rome's heart. The night deepens, the inn quiet, its lamps dim, the town's hum a whisper. As you drift toward sleep, dear listener, imagine the clop of sandals, the creak of a cart, the sight of an aqueduct under starlight. Gaius's story, a gentle rhythm of travel and connection, wraps you in peace, a lullaby from ancient Rome to carry you into dreams. The morning sun bathes Rome in a soft golden light, its rays touching the white marble of the Temple of Vesta, where Livia, a matron of 40, adjusts her woolen shawl, the air scented with the faint sweetness of incense and blooming roses. The Forum, just steps away, hums with its usual bustle. But today the city prepares for the Vestalia, a festival honoring Vesta, goddess of the hearth, whose eternal flame guards Rome's heart. Livia, a mother of 2 grown sons, walks with steady steps, her basket heavy with offerings of bread and salt, her heart lifted by the promise of celebration. Her home, a modest apartment in a Subura insula, is already alive with preparations, the scent of baking cakes mingling with the chatter of neighbors joining the festival. This is a day of faith and community, where Romans gather to honor their gods, their voices rising in prayer, their tables laden with shared feasts. Welcome, dear listener, to a quiet festival in ancient Rome, a tale of devotion, unity, and the gentle hum of sacred rituals, woven with the glow of temple flames and the murmur of prayers. As you rest in your cozy bed, far from Rome's sunlit temples and festive streets, let Livia's story wrap you in its warmth, a soothing whisper from the past to guide you gently toward sleep. Livia's morning begins early, her apartment small, but tidy, its clay lamp casting a soft glow, the air warm with the scent of barley cakes baking in a small oven. Her husband, Decimus, a retired soldier, sweeps the floor, his broom rustling, his voice humming a hymn to Vesta, while their neighbor, a weaver named Flavia, visits, her hands carrying a clay jar of olive oil, her smile bright as she offers it for the festival. The insula is alive, its wooden stairs creaking as families prepare, their voices a chorus of excitement. Children laughing, mothers calling, the air thick with the smells of bread, herbs, and wax from polished altars. Livia kneads dough, her hands strong, the rhythm steady. The dough soft under her fingers, its warmth a comfort as she shapes cakes for the temple. Their surface sprinkled with salt, a gift for the goddess. The streets of the Subura buzz with festival preparations, vendors selling flowers and garlands, their stalls piled high, the air filled with the scent of lavender and myrtle, the clatter of coins a lively hum. Livia walks to the forum, her basket heavy, her shawl fluttering, her sandals scuffing the cobbles, the city alive with color, white tunics and bright wreaths. The laughter of children mingling with the chant of priests, the temple of Vesta. A small, round building stands at the forum's edge, its marble gleaming, its eternal flame flickering inside, tended by the Vestal virgins, their white robes flowing, their steps silent. Livia joins a line of women, their baskets full, their voices soft as they offer prayers, the air warm with incense. The flames glow a steady light that warms her heart. The Vestalia is a sacred time, the temple open to women, a rare moment. To step inside, the air cool, the marble smooth underfoot, the flames heat gentle, its crackle a quiet rhythm. Livia places her cakes on the altar, her words a whispered prayer for her family, her home, her city, the scent of burning incense rising, its sweetness mingling with the bread's earthiness. The Vestals move gracefully, their hands steady as they tend the flame, their presence a symbol of Rome's endurance, their vows a thread in the empire's order. Livia steps back, her heart full, the murmurs of other women a soft chorus, their offerings a shared act of devotion, binding them to Vesta, to Rome. Midday brings the festival's peak. The forum crowded, its stalls now offering roasted meats and honeyed cakes, the air thick with the scent of sizzling lamb and sweet wine. Livia joins her family Decimus at her side, their sons, now soldiers, home from distant posts, their armor left behind, their laughter warm as they share stories of camp life. The family sits under a canvas awning, their meals simple, bread, olives, and watered wine, the tastes tart, the tables small but crowded with love. Musicians play, their flutes trilling, their drums thumping, the crowd clapping, children dancing, their sandals kicking up dust. The forum's columns cast long shadows, the temples glowing, the air alive with song and chatter. The festival a moment of unity that softens the city's bustle. The afternoon unfolds with games and offerings, the streets filled with processions, priests in white robes chanting, their voices rising, the air scented with myrtle and smoke. Livia watches, her shawl warm, her basket empty now, her heart light as she sees neighbors, Claudia the merchant, Lucius the baker, their faces familiar, their nods kind. The festival is a pause, a chance to gather, to pray, to share the empires. Discipline softened by faith, its laws mirrored in the rituals that bind its people. Decimus tells tales of Vesta's myths, his voice low, his sons listening, their eyes bright, the stories a thread that ties them to their gods, their history. Evening falls, the sky turning purple, the forum quieter, the air cooler, the lamps flickering to life in homes and temples. Livia returns to the insula, her steps slow, her body weary but her spirit lifted, the scent of roses clinging to her shawl. The apartment is warm, the lamps glow soft, the air filled with the hum of neighbors settling for the night. There, voices a gentle murmur through thin walls. Decimus lights a small altar, its flame tiny but steady, a nod to Vesta. The family's prayer a whisper of thanks for hearth and home. The insula creaks, its stairs silent now, the city's hum fading. The festival's joy a memory that lingers. The historical context of Roman festivals lies in their role during the Pax Romana to 7 Besser, Uno Ochocerosea, when religious rituals, like the Vestalia, strengthened community and loyalty to the state. Vesta's cult, centered on the eternal flame, symbolized Rome's endurance. The Vestal's role a sacred duty upheld by strict laws. Festivals blended pagan traditions with growing Christian influences, their feasts and processions uniting diverse peoples, their rhythms a foundation of social order. The forums, temples, funded by emperors, were stages for faith. Their rituals a daily pulse in Rome's heart. Livia's festival is one of countless Romans. Her prayers a small piece of the empire's soul. Her family a thread in its fabric. The flame, the incense, the laughter, these are the rhythms of her day, woven into Rome's legacy. The night deepens, the insula silent, its lamps dim, the city's hum a whisper. As you drift toward sleep, dear listener, imagine the glow of a temple flame, the scent of incense, the murmur of a festival crowd. Livia's story, a gentle rhythm of faith and unity, wraps you in peace, a lullaby from ancient Rome to carry you into dreams. The dawn breaks gently over the rolling hills outside Rome, its soft light touching the golden wheat fields of a small villa, where Decimus, a farmer of 50, rises from a wooden bed, the air cool with the scent of dew and freshly turned earth. The villa, a modest cluster of stone buildings, sits nestled among olive groves, its tiled roof glinting, the distant bleat of goats mingling with the rustle of leaves in the morning breeze. Decimus, a weathered man with strong hands and a quiet nod, steps outside, his tunic rough, his sandals scuffing the dirt path, ready to tend the fields that feed his family and Rome's bustling markets. The countryside, far from the forum's clamor, is a world of steady rhythms, its plows creaking, its crops swaying, its simplicity a backbone of the empire's order. Welcome, dear listener, to a day in the Roman countryside, a tale of labor, peace, and the gentle hum of rural life, woven with the sounds of rustling wheat and clucking hens. As you rest in your cozy bed, far from the sunlit hills and dusty fields of ancient Rome, let Decimus's story wrap you in its warmth, a soothing whisper from the past to guide you gently towards sleep. The villa is small, its stone walls warmed by the sun, its courtyard shaded by a fig tree, the air filled with the scent of ripe fruit and dry grass. Decimus lives with his wife, Aemilia, and their daughter, Julia, a girl of 15, whose laughter echoes as she feeds the chickens, their clucks a lively hum. The fields stretch wide, their wheat golden, their olive trees gnarled, their rows neat under the empire's disciplined order. Decimus begins his day early, his hands gripping a wooden plow, its blade scraping the earth. The creak of wood steady, the soil rich and dark, its scent earthy as it turns under his effort. The sun rises, its light soft, the air cool. The bleat of goats in a nearby pen, a gentle rhythm that marks the morning. The countryside is alive with quiet sounds, the rustle of wheat in the breeze, the chirp of birds in the olive trees, the distant clatter of a cart on a stone road. Decimus works steadily, his plow guided by an ox, its hooves thudding, its breath warm, the harness creaking as it pulls. Aemilia joins him, her hands quick as she gathers olives, their skins glossy, their weight heavy in her woven basket. Julia tends the garden, her fingers brushing thyme and rosemary, their scent sharp, the air warm as the sun climbs. The villas, slaves, a small group freed by Decimus years ago, work alongside, their voices low, their laughter shared, their bond a family forged by labor, not blood. The fields are a tapestry, their green and gold a contrast to Rome's crowded streets, their calm a haven from the city's bustle. Mid-morning brings a pause, the sun higher, the air warmer, the fields quiet but for the buzz of bees and the rustle of leaves. Decimus sits under the fig tree, its shade cool, its fruit sweet as he shares a meal with Aemilia and Julia, bread baked by a neighbor, Lucius olives from their trees, a jug of watered wine, its taste tart. The table is simple, its wood worn. The meal a moment of rest, their voices soft as they talk of the harvest, of a festival in Rome, of Julia's dreams to marry a merchant's son. The air carries the scent of dust and herbs, the villa's walls glowing. The countryside a world apart, its rhythms slow, its life steady, its labor a thread in Rome's vast web. The afternoon returns Decimus to the fields, his hands guiding. The ox, the ploughs creak a familiar sound, the earth yielding under his care. Amelia sorts olives, her basket full, her fingers stained, her hum a quiet melody that blends with the wind. Julia feeds the goats, their bleats lively, their milk collected in clay jars, its scent fresh, the task a routine that grounds her. Neighbors pass by, a farmer with a cart of grain, his wheels rattling, a shepherd with a flock, their wool thick, their bells jingling. Decimus nods, his smile warm, their talk of crops and weather a shared language, their lives linked by the land. The aqueduct in the distance, its arches grey against the sky, carries water to Rome, its flow a silent pulse, a reminder of the empire's reach. Evening nears, the sun dipping, the air cooling, the fields bathed in a soft orange glow. Decimus finishes his work, his hands dusty, his back aching, the plough set aside. The ox led to its pen, its snorts gentle. The villa's courtyard hums with evening tasks, Amelia preparing supper, a pot of barley stew simmering, its scent savory. Julia lighting a clay lamp, its flame flickering, the light warm on the stone walls. Neighbors visit, their voices low, sharing news of a market in Rome, of a new tax, of a friend's illness, their bonds a strength that holds the countryside. Together, the meal is shared, the table crowded, the laughter soft, the stew warm, the bread crusty. The moment of pause in the day's toil, the historical context of Roman agriculture lies in its role during the Pax Romana 27 BCE to 180 CE, when farms and villas fed the empire's cities, their grain and oil a lifeline for Rome's millions. Laws protected land ownership, aqueducts watered fields, and roads like the Via Appia linked rural villas to markets, ensuring the empire's stability. Small farmers, like Decimus, working alongside freedmen, were the backbone of this system, their labor disciplined, their lives simple but vital. The countryside, less crowded than Rome, offered a quieter rhythm. Its fields a contrast to the forum's bustle, its harvests a foundation of Rome's wealth. Decimus's day is one of countless Romans, his fields a small piece of the empire's pulse, his family a thread in its fabric. The wheat, the olives, the creak of the plough, these are the rhythms of his life, woven into Rome's heart. The night deepens, the villa silent, its lamps dim, the countryside's hum a whisper. As you drift toward sleep, dear listener, imagine the rustle of wheat, the bleat of goats, the glow of a villa under starlight. Decimus's story, a gentle rhythm of labor and peace, wraps you in calm. A lullaby from ancient Rome to carry you into dreams. The morning sun rises softly over Rome's Subura district, its light slipping through a narrow window into a small workshop, where Flavia, a weaver of 38, sits at her wooden loom, the air filled with the steady clack of the shuttle and the faint scent of dyed wool. The insula around her hums with the sounds of artisans, hammers tapping, potters' wheels spinning, voices drifting through thin walls. Flavia, her hands nimble, weaves a bolt of cloth, its fibers catching the light, their blue and red hues destined for a merchant's stall. Her workshop, tucked on the insula's ground floor, is a haven of creation. Its shelves lined with wool skeins, its floor dusted with lint, its air warm with the smell of dye. Welcome, dear listener, to a day in the life of a Roman artisan. A tale of craft and community, woven with the gentle rhythm of a loom's clack. As you rest in your cozy bed, far from Rome's bustling streets and sunlit workshops, let Flavia's story wrap you in calm, a soothing whisper from the past to guide you toward sleep. The Suburra is a lively maze, its cobbled alleys crowded with shops, the air thick with smells of leather, clay, and bread from Lucius's bakery nearby. Flavia's workshop is small, its brick walls rough, its loom creaking as she works, the threads tightening into patterns. Her husband, Sextus, a leather worker, labors next door, his hammer tapping as he stitches sandals, the scent of tanned hide drifting in. Their daughter, Cornelia, a girl of 14, sweeps the floor, her broom rustling, her laughter bright as she sorts dyed wool. The insula's ground floor buzzes with artisans, a potter shaping clay, a jeweler polishing bronze, their tools clinking, their voices a low hum of shared purpose. Flavia rises before dawn, her tunic coarse, her fingers brushing wool as she lights a lamp, its glow soft, the scent of burning oil mingling with the wool's temps. The loom, built by Sextus, is sturdy, its wood worn, its strings taut. She sorts wool, her hands quick, the skeins dyed with madder and indigo, their colors vibrant. The workshop is cramped, its shelves crowded, but Flavia moves with ease, her routine a dance, the loom's clack a steady beat. The Suburra wakes, its streets buzzing with vendors and shoppers, the clatter of carts echoing merchants shouting. Flavia's door stays open, the air flowing. The street sounds a lively backdrop. Customers visit. A matron named Livia seeking cloth for a festival shawl, her basket heavy with bread, her nod kind. Cornelia runs errands, her sandals scuffing. The cobbles, delivering cloth to Claudia's stall in the forum, the air they're thick with spices. Flavia weaves, her fingers threading the shuttle, the cloth growing, its pattern precise, her focus calm. Mid-morning brings a pause. The sun higher, the air warmer, the workshop bright. Flavia sits with Sextus and Cornelia, their meal simple, bread, olives, watered wine, its taste tart. The table is small, the moment quiet, their voices soft as they talk of orders and festivals. The air carries wool and leather scents. The insulas hum a gentle chorus, a hammer tapping, a child laughing. The afternoon returns Flavia to her loom, the clack steady, the wool soft, the cloth lengthening. A neighbor, Gaius the potter, visits, his hands clay-stained, his talk of a new vase, a spark of pride. The workshop grows busy. A merchant ordering cloth for sales, his coins heavy, Flavia's not calm. Cornelia sorts dyes, her hands stained, her hum a melody, the air thick with madder. The insula's artisans work in harmony, their crafts feeding Rome's markets, their labor a pulse in the empire's order. Evening falls, the sky purple, the air cool, the lamp flickering, its light soft on the cloth. Flavia finishes a bolt, her hands smoothing the fabric, its colors glowing. Sextus closes his shop, his tools set aside, his nod proud. Cornelia sweeps, her broom rustling, the lint gathered. The family eats supper, lentil stew simmering, its scent savory, the bread crusty, the table warm. Neighbors gather, their voices low, sharing stories, a jeweler's tale of a lost ring. Their laughter a bond, the historical context of artisans. lies in their role during the Pax Romana 27 Besa, Uno, 806, when weavers, leatherworkers, and potters fueled Rome's economy. Guilds united artisans, their skills regulated by laws, their workshops in districts like the Subura supplying markets, their crafts a foundation of Rome's wealth. Flavia's day is one of countless Romans, her loom a piece of the empire's pulse, her cloth a thread in its fabric. The night deepens, the workshop silent, its lamp dim, the Subura's hum a whisper. As you drift toward sleep, dear listener, imagine the clack of a loom, the scent of wool, the murmur of a workshop. Flavia's story, a gentle rhythm of craft, wraps you in peace, a lullaby from ancient Rome to carry you into dreams.